Greetings and salutations. I hope everyone's having themselves a mighty fine day. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell down so the goals for a 13-month series doesn't get you and you can stay notified. Apologize for the lack of Tower of God videos. I think you've been kind of getting like one per week instead of the usual seven. I'm a little burnt out, all right? So just forgive me. Let me replenish my Shinsu, and I'll be back in full swing soon. The interest in Tower of God is also pretty low across the boards. Like I've watched everyone's channels, and I've seen that the numbers are just a little bit lower because SIU is on hiatus, and there's no new content coming out, so there could be a bit of a lack of interest and intrigue right now until at least the announcement that is coming back. On top of the fact that I personally don't have too much else to say, just kind of out of thin air. I'm working on some character videos that I wanted to make for a while. The Anak Jihad video, the Demi Princess of the Tower, should be out soon. But I don't have too much to say, and I'm actually trying to complain less. I really mean it when I say that. I'm trying to complain less about Tower God and Bam and power scaling and blah 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 and X, Y, and Z. That does not mean I'm not going to be critical. I'm not going to use my brain. You can never ask me to do that. I will always use my brain. My point is just that I do think sometimes maybe I go out my way, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to like go from, I guess, one side of the spectrum back to kind of being even keeled. But the point of this video, I apologize for that long preface, is for me to talk about my sentiments moving forward with this series and everything. And I'm not gonna do an intro or anything. I'm just gonna keep talking. So Tower of God is a series that means quite a bit to me. I started reading it in about 2010, and when I caught up, the first season was not completed. We were on the last examination. So with the Bull and Bam and Rachel doing their little thing and the push happening, it was around that time. And at the time, it was the most one of the most unique narratives that I kind of jumped into in terms of the mystery, the mystique, the kind of ambience it gave off. And then I thought with the second season, it really capitalized on some of the stuff that it built in the first season. Like the foundation was built with season one, and they just continued to build up on it. And I'm like, this is really good. And I think some structural integrity of the pillar, some of the structural integrity of the pillar started to crack, crumble, and show that maybe it needs a little bit of more foundational work in during the last station. But I think it kind of fell apart season three. I don't think the story is so far gone. He's done so many egregious mistakes, if you will, that this story can't bounce back and just be great again, and as great as I think it used to be during the second season, personally speaking. Maybe you don't agree with that, that's fine. But I do think we're running out of time. In the sense that I mean this. I think this series has a lot of little problems. Just like a lot of long running webtoons and comics and whatnot tend to have a lot of small problems. But let us use the analogy and the imagery of a ship. The ship has six small holes and it's a humongous ship. Well, it's not necessarily that's not a problem, but we'll keep on trucking. Let's say now at the point we've been traveling across the world for many years now, and that ship has over 1,000 small holes in it. What do you think about the ship's ability to stay buoyant? Do you think it will start to falter? Not to say it'll immediately crash and burn and whatever and sink, but it won't be able to stay afloat to the same degree. That's kind of the point that I think we're getting to with this story. That if he doesn't kind of course correct, or maybe even just do some straight up retroactive continuity and apologize for it and not make that kind of like and not have to do something like that again, the story is savable. I think it's salvageable, and I think that it'll go a long way and maybe come back into being my favorite webtoon again. The problem that I would have is I don't necessarily think that I've seen anything recent that's supposed to give me that level of hope. I appreciate hopium. Some of you guys are a lot more optimistic than I am, and I can appreciate that. We're not the same people, we have the same personality, we have the same upbringing, same back socialization, all those things. I would have to have seen something very small or frequent recently for me to be like, okay, I can see why someone's like, oh, I have faith in this. So I'll give you an example. A lot of people are like, oh, season two is gonna be so much better than season one. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I can't prove that. It's not out yet. But I'd argue, based on the history of webtoon adaptations, Tower of God first season especially, what gives you faith that all of a sudden they're just going to get it together? You need some type of indication of that. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't have any evidence. And you asking me to have blind faith is not something that I can get behind, because that's just not how I roll. That's just not how I think. That's just not how I go with things. I think sometimes for certain stuff, you do take a leap of faith. For example, I think for relationships and love, you at some point you're trusting what your partner or individual that you're interested in is, what they're saying, what they're showing you is real, and you take a leap of faith there. I don't gotta do that here. So I want to be wrong about this. I just hope the SIU comes back full force. I don't know. This break didn't seem like with this break that it was forced because his body completely broke down. It's more like he saw it coming early and he decided to kind of pull the plug a little bit before things got too dire. But yeah, that's part of the reason why you hadn't seen as many videos. But I got some character analysis stuff and a couple of more community questions I want to ask you guys. It's gonna be a lot more of that, and maybe just kind of I gotta start the reclimb again. The reclimbs will be on Wednesdays. I've been going out on Wednesdays a lot, and by the time I come home, I'm very exhausted. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little inebriated, so I don't want to be on stream, without Jesus Christ. Why can't I speak today? Without all of my cognitive functions, firing on all synapses at 100% capacity. So I don't want to come out here and be like wavy or anything like that. But that all being said, let's see what happens in the future with this series. I hope that it can really bounce back. I hope a lot of older characters that I care about come to prominence. I hope that he can kind of streamline and somewhat temper the power scaling system, and I just hope that by the time we get to so many things that we've been waiting for so long, it's just worth it. And it's not just like we got there to get there, we did it to do it, but the execution was also not flawless, but just really, really, really well done. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I apologize for the lack of Tower God content to some degree, but I need to break a little bit. What you can do in the meantime is pick up Kubera One Last God, story art by Kurigam. And if you're somebody who truly cares about storytelling, writing, you will not be disappointed. Have yourselves a mighty fine day. Like, subscribe, hit the bell of dawn. I'm going to be out. You can't mess Enryu up. I think that'd be unforgivable. Okay, I'm done. Not for real. Shout out to the Patreon gang. Shout out to my certified BAM lovers. I appreciate y'all. Gotta show love to the Priests of Fire. You already know what's brilliant, gang, over here. But I gotta give a huge thanks to my tier 3 subscribers, the 5th Zen Gods. Shout out to Zodiac, Sunny Katapali, Simi, Scobe, Revenant, Lucky Roo, Lazy Dragon, Chris, Johnny Rogers, Irene Sharda, Triss, David Langstaff, Childish Nujabes, AJ, and my boy Big Abdel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.